देखो अगर हम लोग डिप्लॉन्टिक लाइफ साइकिल में बात कर रहे हैं तो हम लोग यहां पर क्या बोलेंगे, द मेन प्लांट बॉडी will be what? Will be diplontic in nature. And whenever a plant body is diplontic in nature or we can say diploid in nature, तो हम लोग उसको क्या बोलते हैं सर? We call it sporophyte. Okay, we will call it sporophyte. Now that means the life cycle will be starting from sporophyte here. Okay, now sporophyte here, if we are talking about, if they want to undergo sexual reproduction, what they will do? They will form gametes. Okay, and sporophyte, if they want to form gametes, which kind of division they will be going for? They will be going for meiosis. Now, if a meiosis is taking place for the formation of gametes, remember the meiosis is known as the gametic meiosis. Now, the gametes which are formed here will do what? They will undergo syngamy. Okay, so syngamy, they will produce zygote. Okay, this zygote will lead to the formation of, see, I'm adding some structures which are here like embryo. Okay, because every diploid plant will have this embryo here, which will later lead to the formation of sporophyte. So we have mitosis here and we have mitosis here. Most of the books, what you will see, you will not see the name of embryo, you will be directly seeing sporophyte. That is also fine. Okay, so if we are talking about diplontic life cycle also, if you see, we will have these two functions important here, the meiosis and the syngamy, because we know that for alteration of generation we require this particular mode of process, the particular process. Now the example which we'll be getting here is your fucus. Okay, we'll get example of sargassum here. Okay, now leaving these two are algae. We can also see examples like diatoms. We can see example like acellular slime mold. We can see example like gymnosperm. We can see examples like angiosperm here. So these are the examples in which we are gonna get your diplontic life cycle. Write it down. Now see here, the next cycle which we'll be talking about is haplodiplontic or diplohaplontic life cycle. Now see, both the cycles are exactly similar. Either is haplodiplontic or diplohaplontic, the life cycle is exactly similar. The only question is when you gonna call it a haplodiplontic and when you gonna call it a diplohaplontic life cycle. We'll discuss about this thing, and at the same time we'll discuss one important thing which is given in NCERT. Now if we are talking about haplodiplontic life cycle, let us take haplodiplontic and I will explain how the same cycle can turn into a diplohaplontic one. So for example, we are representing the plant as gametophyte. Okay, so now this gametophyte is haploid in nature. It want to undergo sexual reproduction. It will form gametes, and obviously kind of division which we will be seeing here is your mitotic division. These gametes will fuse with each other and the process will be known as the syngamy to produce a zygote. Now if you look at the life cycle till here, what we have? We are going to have a haploid life cycle type of structure. Now we're gonna add diploid one. If you remember from the zygote by mitosis, in case of diploid life cycle, we had the formation of sporophyte. Okay, now this sporophyte will do what, sir? It will undergo meiosis. Okay, and it will produce what? It will produce spores. Because it can't produce gamete. Gametes are already formed. Okay, and it lead to the formation of zygote. What it will produce? It will produce spores. So remember, the meiosis in case of haplodiplontic life cycle or diplohaplontic life cycle is known as the sporic meiosis. Okay, now these spores will germinate to form gametophyte. Okay, this will germinate to form gametophyte. Now, if we see example here, let us first talk about examples here. So, we'll see examples of algae like ectocarpus, which will be coming in this category. We'll be talking about algae like cladophora, which will be coming in this category. Now, living ectocarpus and cladophora, we gonna see two important examples here. The bryophyta, okay, and the pteridophyta. Now see here, bryophyta is the group of plant which is haploid in nature. So if this same cycle I am checking out, so for bryophyta the cycle will start from here, that they will produce gamete by mitosis, they will undergo syngamy, zygote, mitosis, sporophyte, spores to gametophyte. But when we talk about a pteridophyta, it is a diploid plant. So the life cycle will start from here. The sporophyte will undergo meiosis to produce spores, which will form gametophyte, which will go under mitosis, which will form zygote, which will again form sporophyte. So I can say for pteridophyta, the life cycle should be diplohaplontic. And for bryophyta, the life cycle should be haplodiplontic. Is it clear? Is it clear, guys?
Yes, sir. Yes.
But remember here, sir, remember here that in case of NCERT, they have mentioned that bryophyta and pteridophyta both are haplodiplontic in nature. What are they? Haplodiplontic in nature, which means NCERT do not talk about diplohaplontic life cycle. Okay, they only talk about haplodiplontic life cycle. Clear? So if in exam they're gonna ask you pteridophyta shows which kind of life cycle, sir? We'll say they shows haplodiplontic life cycle. Bryophyta shows which kind of life cycle? It shows haplodiplontic life cycle. Clear? Understood?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. इसमें गलती नहीं
Yes,
करेंगे?
sir.
Very good, sir. चलिए, sir.